I'm Tyson with Backcountry Treks, and I've got a Garmin handheld GPS unit. This is the 64ST. Now this is going to be a basic overview of some of the things I like and dislike about it. If you're looking for an in-depth how-to, check out GPS City on YouTube. They have a series of 26 videos really going in-depth on the workings of the GPS so that you can get the most out of your unit. Now with the 64ST, it comes with the wireless connectivity, the compass, the altimeter, the 1-year subscription to the bird's eye view, along with 100K of topo maps. So out of the box, this thing's ready to use for any adventure that you may have planned. Now it weighs 9.2 ounces and has a 2.6-inch screen on it. So it's easy to read in the sunlight or in the desert where we've used it in Moab quite a bit. And it's also big enough that I can see exactly what I want to see on it. I don't ever find myself really needing a lot more screen. Although that would be nice, but then the unit is going to be that much bigger. And right now, it fits really nicely into my hand, and it's easy enough to see everything on it that I really need to see. On the exterior, it's coated with this nice rubber so that it gives a good grip, and it's not going to fall out of your hand if it's wet or anything like that. But also, it has a lot of protection there. So if you end up dropping it on the ground or if you're really abusive on your things, it's still going to give you years of use. Now, with the 64 series, they do have this external antenna, which I really like, and that was one of the main reasons I got it. Compared to, say, maybe the Montana, that's the touch screen, where the antenna is more built into the unit. With this, if you're doing a lot of things in deep canyons or with heavy brush or foliage over you, you're still going to pick up a lot of antennas and get the most accuracy that you can out of your unit. Now also with that, this does have the GLONASS in it, so that's right there is going to help pick up more satellites and give you more accuracy, down to about 3 meters, compared to about 10 without that technology built in. Now on the back of the unit, you do have an opening where you can plug in an external antenna, and then a port for the cord that it comes with, so you can plug it into the wall charger or into your computer. Also on the back, and what it comes with, is this nice clip with a carabiner on it. So you can attach it right to the back of the unit, and then you can hang it from a backpack or maybe a belt loop. And then at the very bottom, it does have a spot for a lanyard if you want to use something like that with it. Now, one of my favorite features about this is just the wireless connectivity and the capabilities that that provides. With this, if I have a friend with another Garmin that has the same capability, I can actually transfer wirelessly my routes or GPS tracks or waypoints from my unit to his or hers, so that they can go and have an awesome adventure, an awesome hike that I just did maybe last week or 2 weeks or a year ago, and they can see everything that I saw on that hike. Also, this has the Bluetooth capability. So with my phone, which is one of my favorite features, if I have a text message or an email or a phone call come through, it actually shows up on the screen of the GPS. And with that, I don't have to have my GPS mounted on the handlebars of the motorcycle and my telephone. I can see it all on one unit right here. Now, I can't make a phone call from it, but at least I can see that if someone's calling, maybe it's important, I can go ahead and get my cell phone out. I'm not always having to fumble through and do that every time I stop because I know right here on my GPS. Also, you can download an app onto your phone that really goes hand in hand with the GPS. You can pull up different routes and tracks that you've done. You can delete stuff right from the app, and it really goes into just making this unit that much more user-friendly. Now, speaking of user-friendly, they have the most amazing customer service that I've actually probably found in any other company to date. With this, I had a lot of questions. It was my first unit with topo and that kind of stuff involved in it. I didn't know how to use it that well. It didn't come with a ton of instructions. So I called them up and they were able to walk me through a lot of it, but then also help me find a lot of information online and on their website where I can find out the inner workings of the GPS. Also, I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes when I've called them, which has been just really amazing, I think. And I always get someone who speaks English. These guys are located throughout the US. So whenever I've called someone, I've always talked to a Cody or a Joe or someone like that, and I can hold a conversation with them and I'm not getting frustrated. So props to Garmin for having everyone in the US. I, for one, really appreciate it. It makes using my Garmin products that much easier. Now, this comes built in with 8 gigs of storage and 5,000 waypoints of storage. I haven't even come close to using that, but if you find that you need more, you can always add it through a micro SD card slot that they have on the back. Now, actually going in and using the unit has been really easy. I'm able to pull up the map and use a lot of the features right out of the box without having to read too many directions. I really like the compass that it has on it. It's a 3-axis, so if I'm holding it flat or vertical or anywhere in between, I'm always pointing to north or whatever direction I'm really pointing in. If it's not north, if it's west, I'm actually pointing in that direction. Now, it also has an altimeter built into it, which is extremely easy to use and a nice function that I like because we're always out in the mountains and we always like to know what our altitudes are for checkpoints and that kind of stuff. Callie and I really like having the external buttons on the 64 series because we end up using this a lot in the wintertime. And with that, we're always wearing gloves. So we can still use this unit without having to take our gloves off to use a touch screen, which we both really like. As I'd mentioned earlier, this comes with the 1-year free subscription of their Bird's Eye satellite imagery. What that is, it's a program that you download on your computer, and then you can actually outline different areas that you're going to go visit and download them as satellite view images. So Callie and I went to Moab, so I got on the computer, outlined Moab and where we were going to be dirt biking and mountain biking, and downloaded that onto the device as a satellite image. So now as we're out mountain biking, I can actually see maybe this pond that we're going to go by, and it comes up as a satellite image on the GPS. So it really makes it a lot more user-friendly and a little bit easier to read, although you should still know how to use a topo map and figure out where you are at on a topo map. Besides the 100K topo maps that they offer, you can also get marine maps for this or road maps, so you can use the same device for a lot of different activities. Also, they offer custom mapping, and what that is, you can have a paper map with, let's say, mountain bike trails on it. And those mountain bike trails have different colors for degree of difficulty. We can take that paper map and scan it, overlay it over Google Images, and then download it onto this device. So now you've got this paper map that you had in your hand actually downloaded onto your device, and you can see exactly where you're at on that map, which makes it a lot easier to use. Instead of trying to figure out where you're at on your device and then where you're at on this map, just putting everything into one unit. So there's a lot of technology really built into the Garmin 64st. Callie and I have been really happy with our Garmin. We've used it in the wintertime skiing and on the snowmobiles, and in the summertime on dirt bikes and mountain biking, along with canoeing in the boundary waters in Canada. It's come in extremely useful multiple times. Now, if you guys have any questions specific on the unit, please feel free to leave a comment below and we'll try to get back to you right away and answer your questions that you may have. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch the video. I'm Tyson with Backcountry Treks.